Hi, I'm Justin Harnish and welcome to the summer season of Off My Block, the season of barbecues and shorts. It's time for cicadas, crickets and the jolly fat man in the red suit. And also, for me at least, 4:30 AM finishes and more legal stuff. It's enough to make me go off my block. So the new bed is settled and ready to be planted out. So I'm just going to put some of my favourite plants in there, including cherry tomato, some peppers, bell peppers and chilies, and also some beetroot.
Work for idle hands, so I thought I'd take my chances working for the man. But after a while, you know there's nothing to choose, because working for the man done give me the blues, yeah. So I went to the man and I told him I quit, and then I spent my final pay without a thing to show for it. Then when I got hungry and I started to hurt, that's when Lucifer found me and he offered me work, yeah. Well, of course it was an offer too attractive to refuse. I was looking to get a break without paying my dues. Yeah, he offered me music, he offered me gold. All I had to do was everything I was told, yeah. Well, the music that he offered me was more than I could stand. I played electric violin in Lucifer's band. Yeah, the devil played the drums. He set a mesmerizing beat that kept the dancers on the floor till they were dead on their feet, yeah. When the devil took the mic, the fallen dancers would rise. 1,000 grinning skulls with icy fire in their eyes. Yeah, the stories that he sang to them were awful and old, man. They woke this ancient fable in the bottom of my soul. I saw an old woman wailing on a little girl, her teeth on the pavement glowing like pearls in the light of a lamp.
Last week I set myself a goal to start to mentally prepare to quit smoking, and I've done that over the week. Consciously thinking about every time I have a cigarette, not just that hand to mouth thing, but every time thinking about it, writing it down as to how many I have, writing down the triggers like coffee or having a drink or two, beer, that type of thing. Waking up in the morning and wanting it, all that kind of thing, and mentally thinking, I don't want to do this anymore, getting prepared for it. I don't want to smoke anymore. It is now mentally the thing I'm most concentrating on, not wanting to smoke. So the fourth step in this graduation is to start saving some money. Now, whether you smoke a pack a day or one cigarette every week, there are ways you can start to save money, so you can see that immediate reward. Now, me, I smoke around about 10 a day. Now, that works out at about a packet every 2 days. Now, if we were to extrapolate that, that would be 15 packets a month. Now, those 15 packets a month, each packet costing around about $19, is going to give me $285 that I need to spend. That's quite a bit of money. Now, if I were to go to tobacco and go for the smallest pouch, depending on what you can afford. Now, I work on a weekly basis at the moment, so a 30-gram pouch of tobacco, if we're talking roll your own, including things like your papers and your filters, is going to cost you about $40. That's every week. So times that by 4 and we've got $160. It's quite a drop if you consider it. Now, roll your own cigarettes, or rollies as we call them, come in different size packs, 30 gram, 40 gram, 50 gram. And the bigger the pack you buy, the more economical it is. However, I'm not really in that position, so I do it a weekly basis of 30 grams. And yes, it will last me a week. Now, within the tobacco area, the roll your own, the rollies, if you get the right type of filter, then you can actually save yourself a bit more money or stretch that pouch out a little bit further. And when I talk about filters is there are normal filters, slim filters, super slim filters, and ultra slim filters. Now, the smaller the filter, the less tobacco you use. So that's another way to save money on your tobacco. And that means that every time you have a cigarette, you actually consume less smoke, less tobacco, less of all those other chemicals. Now, no matter which way you cut it, every time you smoke, you're still taking in all those chemicals, whether it be one cigarette a week or a pack a day. Now, those chemicals are numerous. There's over 4,000 chemicals in a cigarette, whether it be a tailor-made cigarette, which is a packet of cigarettes, or your rollies. Now, just looking on the internet here, we've got over 4,000 chemicals listed right there in a cigarette. Now, I don't need to tell you that that's a shitload of chemicals. Over 4,000. So every time you have a smoke, it's damaging you. So without having to go cold turkey and get over that whole habit thing and the nicotine withdrawal and everything that makes giving up smoking really, really hard, what do as well as try and save money? Well, that brings us to the next point. Last week, I ordered some e-cigarettes. Yes, e-cigarettes. I know they're not at the moment trendy, and yes, we talked about it last week. The long-term effects of e-cigarettes aren't really that known because they haven't been around that long. And there is a lot of controversy around the subject. But, as I said last week, there's just so few chemicals in an e-cigarette compared to 4,000 in a cigarette. Now, even at the same price, that information alone is enough to make me look at the alternative. And last week, I clicked on to a New Zealand site that does the e-cigarettes, and I got them. Here we go. I even treated myself to a little case that it comes in. So, what do you get? Well, first of all, if I can open this, you get a battery. Now, in this particular company, it's a little bit bigger than what you would expect a tailor-made cigarette to be, because you also have a cartridge, and this is the magic right here. Inside this little beastie is an element that heats up a liquid solution which contains nicotine and, if you wanted, a flavour. And the flavours come anywhere from a tobacco flavour through to a vanilla, cherry, chocolate, you name it. This is actually vanilla flavoured. So it's just connects onto the battery like that, and you just use it like a normal cigarette. It gives you the same feeling, and it gives you the same amount of nicotine. You can choose the nicotine level that you want to go for very high, medium, low, none if you want, and so gradually you can cut down. The only problem I've found with an e-cigarette is that you may actually smoke a little bit more than what you should do because there's no indication of if you've gone through a cigarette. With a normal cigarette, once you get down to the once you get down to the butt, that's it for the cigarette. You put it out. This one, it'll just keep going until it's finished. There are around about 400 puffs per cartridge, which is about a packet. Now here's the real good thing. Here is a pack of cartridges. There's 5 cartridges in that. Cost $20. or $19.99. 20 bucks for that. So that'll last around about a week for me. So $20 for a pack of these will last me a week. 4 weeks makes it $80. So $80 a month as opposed to $285 a month if I were to do a packet every 2 days. That's a big savings. So step 4 is to start saving money by changing your smoking habits. And I'm not talking about your hand to mouth habit, I'm talking about the type of cigarettes you smoke. If you smoke tailor-mades, get roll your owns and you'll start to save some money, and you'll also find that you may cut down on smoking because of the rigmarole of rolling your own cigarettes. If you're already on roll your own tobacco, cut down the filter size. Alright, so cutting down the filter size will give you more tobacco over a longer period of time for the same gram weight or pouch weight. Now, if you're already on the smallest filter you can do, then I highly recommend going for the e-cigarette. If you want to go straight from tailor-made cigarettes to e-cigarettes, that's also good. So step number 4, start saving money, change the way you smoke. Now if you need another reason to switch to e-cigs, just look at the back of the pack. Now I said before that each cartridge has up to 400 puffs. Now I just read it now and it's not. It's 300 puffs. Some other brands have 400, some other actually have less. But it contains propylene glycol, water, flavouring and nicotine. Now the flavouring itself could be a bunch of different chemicals, but these 4 different chemicals or 4 different ingredients as opposed to 4,000. Pretty good reason actually. Now when you do make the change in how you smoke, set yourself a little goal as to how much money you want to save. Now I gave you a quick rundown on how much money I will save in my particular circumstance. Yours is going to be different. But that little goal of how much money you want to save, make it something that you want. If you like movies, buy yourself a movie ticket with the savings, or a DVD or a Blu-ray. If you want to go out to dinner or buy yourself something special, something that you like, whatever it may be, set that goal, go for it, and do it. It could be something as simple as paying off a credit card. So that extra $20 or extra $100 a month, or it could be up to $500 a month, can go towards paying a mortgage or a credit card or something like that. So you're eventually going to get yourself debt free, or at least have a bit of money in that credit card to do stuff with. Either way, my goal is to start paying off a credit card. Alright, we're going to start with the weeding and tidy the bed up a bit and see what we've got to pick and harvest. So the spuds are definitely ready to come up. We'll do that now. So that's my haul of spuds from the garden. Awesome. Now there's not a huge amount, but enough for me, and what we do is just go through, pick out the ones that we need to consume straight away, give them a bit of a wash, just sort of get the dirt off, give it a bit of a wash under the tap. You don't need to do much, the skin's really tender. And have you ever Frenched a potato? I'm about to show you. So first things first, if you're not going to use them straight away, make sure that they're clean and tidy, and then pop them into a potato sack, otherwise known as the mail bag. In a cool, dark place, this will keep them for quite a while, maybe up to 6 months if you're careful and if it's in the right area. Right now, what we're going to do is we're going to make French fries. Real easy. And this is something you can eat straight away or you can store away. You're going to need a mandolin. It's not a musical instrument, it's actually something that you use to cut things with. Now it's pretty simple, a mandolin to use. It's got a mechanism on the side, a little knob, that allows you to raise and lower the blade. And then you can take it to the unlock position and simply open it. And inside you'll find a bunch of different blades and different cutters. So you can have a straight cut or a crinkle cut. I'm not going to go for the crinkle cut at the moment. Simply put, this is going to be French fries. Then you've got two blade types here, which slice as well, julienne and French fry. We're going to take the French fry right there. We're going to take the flat surface off, the sliding surface, and put the French blade on. Just like that. Close it all up, ow, and be careful, it's really sharp, and then lock it in position. Now I'd say you probably want to do each one of these about 5 to 6 mil apart, so a square French fry, make it the highest the blade can go on 6 mil, and then it's ready to go. Don't forget to use your hand guard because this is really sharp. Trust me, I've learned my lesson. What you need, of course, is your spuds, your mandolin, your handguard, a place for the raw French fries to land and wash, it's just water, and then where it can dry out. The deep fryer on 150. Also remember to keep some spare paper around. Now you can use paper towels if you want, or tea towels, whatever, but this show's all about recycling, and this comes once a day. Pop it on, whack it in, oops. And that is what you're after. Easy, eh? Then pop it in the water. And what the water does also is get rid of some of the yucky starch. Now starch isn't yucky in itself, but it makes for a better French fry when you've got some of it off. And just let them soak there for a while. So once the French fries have been soaking long enough, you can see the water is pretty discoloured with all the starch. Give it a quick drain and then lay them on the paper. Make sure they're all separated. Next thing, just shift that over a bit. Some new newspaper down. Keep making sure they're separated and all individual and dry. So the oil's ready, it's time to put the chips in the oil for the first time. Yes, for the first time. It's called double frying. It works, trust me. So just a handful of the French fries into a basket and into the oil for around 5 to 7 minutes. through the cooking process. Give it a bit of shake to make sure that they're all separated. So that's what we're looking for. Perfect. Let's spread them out. So that's the first fry. So once I've had a chance to drain off the excess oil and cool down a bit, there's one of two things you can do. The first thing is to cook them again. Alright, so maybe 4 minutes on 180 degrees in the fat fryer. Second thing is you can bag them up, preferably using a vacuum bag sealer, and then put them in the freezer for later. I'm going to do a half and half situation here. Half of them, the first half, I'm actually going to recook and eat for lunch. Yeah. The second half I'm going to bag up and put in the freezer for later. Now to cook some butcher fresh sausages. Now what I'm going to do is, because they are butcher fresh, I'm going to use the top shelf here. Now if you don't have a top shelf, just turn your barbecue down. That's going to cook it from the inside out. So that's what we're going to do now. Literally fresh this morning. Just pop them on there and let them cook for a bit. In the meantime, what you want to do is get a few things prepared. You want some cooking spray, some mustard. This is American mustard, homemade American mustard, some salt, an egg, and an egg ring. These are very, very, very good. The sausages aren't far away from being done, so it's time to turn on the fat fryer. Make sure the plate's nice and hot. We're almost ready to put everything together. So with a couple of minutes remaining for the sausages, we're going to do the chips and then we're going to do the egg. So that's them. Really probably don't need much more than 2 minutes, but we'll put them on for 3 minutes and just wash them carefully. So into the fat, bit of a shake around just to separate them. Lid on, timer, which is the microwave, set for 3 minutes, and then we'll just watch it. Okay, so they're ready to go, golden brown and delicious. Turn off the fryer, let them drain a little bit. There we go. Now in this case, paper towel is probably the best way to go, but I've still got some newspaper, so I'll use that. Salt. Shake it up a little bit. Oh, and don't forget the homebrew. Cheers. Well, that's about it for this week. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a big thumbs up on YouTube, leave a comment, I'd love to hear from you, and please subscribe to my channel. Until next week, keep calm and garden on.